Okay, so question number 20. Solve the equation 2x squared plus 8x plus 5 equals 0. So this is a quadratic. Give your answer to 2 decimal places. So we know that if the answers are to 2 decimal places, this won't factorise. Okay. So there are 2 different ways that we can approach this. We can use the quadratic formula, or we can complete the square. So personally I would use the quadratic formula. So this is at the beginning of your paper, so let's just alter the thickness, that's better. So we have x equals minus b plus or minus the root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Okay, I should imagine at this point some people would have turned off. However, this is quite simple. So we have this formula. Now quadratics come in the form of ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. In the same way as a straight line is y equals mx plus c. So this is the generic term for a quadratic. So here we can see we have a, here we can b, and here we have c. So we need, because we can see here the formula is just filled with a, b's and c's apart from the 4, we need to find out the values. So a equals, now this is the number of x squared, so we have 2. Okay, now b is the number of x's, so b is 8, and c here is the y-intercept, so c equals 5. So we can now put these values into this equation. So we can say that x equals, now it says minus b. Now b is 8, so this will be minus 8 plus or minus the root of b squared, so this will be 8 squared, minus, now I tend to put a bracket here, 4 multiplied by a, which is 2, multiplied by c, which is 5. And then this is all over 2 lots of a. Now a is 2, so 2 2s are 4. So now you'll notice all the letters have disappeared and we just have numbers. So we now just use our arithmetic. So I can write therefore x equals minus 8, because we can't do anything with that yet, plus or minus the root of, now 8 squared is 64, minus, now 4 2s are 8 and 5 8s are 40. So we have 40, and again this is all over 4. And you'll probably notice, or you would have noticed when you've done this when you're working in the classroom, that all that's happening is that the sum inside the root is getting smaller. Okay, we've taken it from that to that, and now 64 take away 40 gives us 24, and this is still over 4. So we need to now find out what's the root of 24. So x equals minus 8 plus or minus. Now the root of 24. Now what I would do is give this to 4 decimal places. So the root of 24 is 4.8989. Okay, and this is divided by 4. So at this point now we're going to have two solutions, because we're going to have minus 8 plus this divided by 4 and minus 8 minus this divided by 4. So if I go with the positive one first, so x equals minus 8 plus 4.8989 all divided by 4. This will give me, so now I'll just do this on the calculator, so we have minus 8 plus 4.8989 equals, and then I divide this by 4. Now this gives me 0.7752. Now remember they said give your answer back here to 2 decimal places. So my third decimal place is a 5, so this 7 will round up to an 8. Okay, so I can say that x equals 0.78, or, so now I have to do the other one, so let's do that down here. So x equals minus 8 minus 4.8989, and again this is all divided by 4. So I go to my calculator again and I have minus 8 minus 4.8989, and I divide this by 4, and this gives me minus 3.224. Now to 2 decimal places, this is a 4, so it rounds down, so I will get x equals minus 3.22. Okay, so this is definitely worth learning and knowing. Well, the whole syllabus is worth learning and knowing, but using the quadratic formula, it looks quite scary, but once you put in the values, you'll see that the roots are just diminished until we get to an actual solution. And then, because we have plus or minus, because the root of any number will be plus or minus, we will get 2 values. Okay, so moving on to the next question. The expression x squared minus 9 over x squared plus bx minus 15 simplifies to x plus 3 over x plus 5. So we need to work out the value of b. Now if this simplifies, it means that something on the top must cancel with something on the bottom. Okay, so this is the difference of two squares. We like these, so I know that that will give me x plus 3 in brackets, and this will give me x minus 3 in brackets. Okay, because the difference of two squares, you just find the root of both numbers. So the root of x squared is x, the root of 9 is 3, 1 will always be plus, 1 will always be minus. Now this will factorise because it has to make sure that we can cancel. So I know that this is x and this is x. The only way that I can get 15, okay, is 1 and 15. Now 1 and 15 don't cancel with either of these brackets, or 3 and 5. Okay, so 3 and 5. Now this could be a minus 3 and this could be a plus 5, because a minus and a plus gives us a minus 15, but we don't know which is which. But we've been told that it simplifies to this, so the x plus 3 and the x plus 5 remain. So this must be x plus 5 and this must be x minus 3. Okay, because this will now cancel with this, which will leave us x plus 3 over x plus 5. Okay, because they told us that this happens. So I know that these two brackets are right, but we've got to find this middle value. So the only way we can do that is to expand these two brackets to put it back in this form. So x multiplied by x will give me x squared, x multiplied by 5 will give me plus 5x. Now minus 3 times x is minus 3x, and we know that minus 3 times plus 5 gives me minus 15. So if I simplify this, we get x squared. Now 5x take away 3x is plus 2x minus 15. Now our b value is here. We can say that is 2. So I would just say b equals, now I will put in plus 2 just to make sure that they understand that it's a positive number. Okay, so this is just a question of seeing relationships between one another. So I know that this is the difference of two squares, so x plus 3, x minus 3 are going to come into the equation. If it simplifies, something up here must cancel with something down here. So I know that if this is left, it must be x minus 3, which cancels. So then all I need to know is what's in the other bracket. Once I've done that, I expand the brackets and find the b value. Okay. Now because we're sort of coming towards the end of the paper, the questions are going to get a bit lengthy. So I'm going to stop at this point and then go on to the next question in another video.